Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our next episode of Darkest Night, where we're getting ready to play through our, I guess, 4th or 5th turn at this point. I could probably count some event cards that help me know. But we're about to get started. I do have one thing. I was hadn't played the Exorcist before. There's a lot of characters in this game, and I've played it a bunch of times. When you roll this, you have to roll exactly a 2, not a 2 or better or a 4. It's exact. So I'm going to not do anything. Obviously, I can't go backwards and correct, but I'm going to make sure that's noted going forward. That's the only thing I had to correct. Amazing. From that point, we are going to move on and continue with our game. We're going to start with our new round, so let's get right into it. Now, what's happened so far that's important or noteworthy? Our scout needs to kind of rest somewhere. But he's also got to get rid of take care of this thing right here, and she failed to fight that enemy there. She only has to get 1 success, which sucks. And then we get an epiphany. But if we don't deal with it, then the darkness track is going to go up 1. It's not the worst thing in the world. There's lots of things that could happen that are a heck of a lot worse. Also, I want to point out that the enigmas, these are the red ones. The red bordered ones are global effects. So that +1 search difficulty is everywhere. And we have 2 of them. So we're actually at a +2 search difficulty right now. That's going to make it a little harder for our Exorcist in the castle. He'll probably move and just start taking out those blights. That's what he's good at. So, yeah, we actually have the ability to move a little faster. So we might just do that, and then we'll banish those blights. I think, why don't we... Okay, that being said, let's start with our Exorcist. Okay, so we're going to start with our players' turns right now. Of course, the first thing we have to do is draw our event card for our Exorcist. It is a horde, so there's a horde approaching the castle, getting ready to attack. We're going to compare it to his secrecy. Secrecy is actually a 5, so that means it's probably not going to be a very big. It's a small horde, so they don't know he's there. So they're just a little horde wandering around there. Got to get a 4 to defend or a 3 to elude, and if we fail, we're going to lose a grace. And it says, the recent bloodshed has swollen the ranks of the dead with lesser spawn. And that's what we're facing right now. So what do we have to do here? Do we have anything that allows us to elude? I'm trying to make a... well, we have to do all his at the beginning of the turn stuff. So right now we have Courageous Boon. It says at the start of your turn, make a single die roll of 2 dice for all your boons, and they activate on a 5. So I have a 5, 4, and a 2. So we get to do that 3 times. I think that's going to allow us to... because it says on each of these cards as a bonus, which means we don't have to just pick one. So we did roll a 5, so we were able to activate that boon as well. So his need an activation token. I don't care what color it is. His Courageous Boon is active as well, which says at the start of your turn you make a roll. Right, you can deactivate to get +1 on all rolls this turn. And then we got his other one says deactivate. After making a die roll, ignore the consequences. And then Fleet Boon is deactivate during your turn to move an adjacent space, to move to an adjacent location. So we're going to do that. We're going to deactivate his Fleet Boon, and we're going to move to here, where we're going to then banish that blight. Now he moves, so he would gain his secrecy, but he's already at 5, and that's the highest you can go from your movement. And then he's going to attack a blight, so he's going to lose a secrecy. And that's going to take him down. Wait, we got to deal with the... What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself. Got to deal with the horde first. Dar. All right, he doesn't have anything special for the horde, so we haven't deactivated our Fleet Boon yet. We're just going to try and elude with a 3. We need a 3 or better. Let's see if we can do it. A 4. We did. So he successfully eluded the horde that was tracking him down. Okay. Then we spend his Fleet Boon, and he moves to here. Then we lose a secrecy, so he's down to 4 now, and he's attacking that blight. So what is he going to attack the blight with? Well, he's got this. It says banish. It's a tactic. Fight with 2 dice when attacking a blight or the Necromancer and reroll 1s. That's pretty good. So he's our guy for attacking these things. He needs to roll 4 better and needs to reroll 1s. Remember, he can also ignore consequences. There's no effect on this one, so it doesn't really matter. But he got a 3 and a 3, which is not enough. However... we can do this. We're going to have to deactivate a boon. To do that, we're going to deactivate his Courageous Boon. Let's take a look at that. Deactivate at the start of your turn. Oh, at the start of your turn. I didn't. So that actually means he did not succeed in destroying that blight. He rolled 3s. That kind of sucks. There's no way for him to get a better roll. God, I wish he'd rolled a 1, because then we would have been able to re-roll it. Anyway, someone also pointed out that these need to be upside down, but when you're playing with clues, it really doesn't matter. Because when you go pick them up, it's based on the clues, not on the discovery. It just doesn't really matter. But since somebody, well, I'll make sure I cover anybody that's got OCD or something like myself sometimes, and I'll flip them all upside down. Again, doesn't really matter. Okay, unfortunately, that is his turn, so he was not very effective. That kind of bites. Okay, let's go to the Scout, because the other two are with the Necromancer, so I got to think about what to do there. We're going to go to the Scout. She is here. Let's draw her event card and see what she gets. Dust Storm. Gain 2 secrecy. Then spend 1 grace or lose a turn. She's kind of hurting on the grace right now. It says the wind howls in your ears. The dirt scratches your eyes. You circle lost in the half light. Well, we're going to gain 2 secrecy. That puts her back up to a 6. We're okay there. But do we want to spend a grace or lose a turn? I really want to take... She's going to spend a grace. That doesn't kill her. We're okay, guys. We're okay. She can still lose 1. But then she's got to go hustle and try and get her stuff back, I guess. Let's take a look. What can we do with these wraps? I mean, there's no roll there, so this doesn't help. When you make a die roll where the highest possible result has no consequence. So like attacking that blight, for example. Well, I don't know. That's a weird card for me. That Wraps of Life is kind of weird to me. Anyway, what she's going to do, well, I think that we kind of got to try and do this. I think that's the right move, since we didn't get rid of the Enigma. She only gets 1 die. Let me think. I might move her. I don't know. Actually, I thought about this a bit, and she's not a super high risk here. The Necromancer is not likely to move in her space because she just got 2 secrecy from the Dust Storm, so Necromancer's not going to find her. We do have to roll a 6, but I think I'm going to take a shot and see. Oh my god! We got a 6. That is awesome. So, fight versus 6. We did it. Each success count. So we get a success here. I'm just going to show you how that would work. If there's more than 1, you would just put a token on it. But we've cleared this quest. We get an Epiphany. Let me find an Epiphany token. Where are they? Epiphany. I will find one in here somewhere. Just all these little tokens for things. Yeah, come on. Maybe. Oh, actually, I don't think we draw a token for that. I don't think it's a token. Let me look at Epiphany here. Epiphany. Oh, search your power deck and take the card of your choice. Wow, we're gonna really do that. Let's see what she's got. I can search her whole power deck. So, secret paths activate on your location. Shelters. I want to find something that helps her fight or search. Activate location. A hero that does not experience... Oh, no events. That's pretty good. I might think about that one. Trailblazer. Any hero on an adjacent location may travel to your location free. That is actually potentially huge. Hide. Raise the secrecy of one hero one hero at your location to your current secrecy. That's pretty good, and that's a basic one. Probe defense. The might of blights are reduced by 1 if we activate this in our location. Rest easy. Exhaust to let every hero at your location get a spark. That's pretty good. +1 die when... Ooh, I think we might take that one. +1 die when eluding. That's pretty good. Nothing on attacking, though. Right? She doesn't attack. Travel, then refresh all your powers. That's a good one. That's an action. I think we're going to take that one because I notice her powers get deactivated a lot. We're going to do that. So she is going to take Explore. We're going to shuffle up the rest of her cards. And now she has yet another power. That was effective, and this quest is now gone. That's 2 quests we've solved so far, and that is going to mark the unfortunate end of her turn. Still not bad. We've got to get some clues in that there. That is really important. We haven't gotten any. Now let's go to... I think we're going to go to the monk. Let's go to the monk. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first thing that happens is he is in a space with the Necromancer. So, when you start your turn... let me see if I can find that one of the cards again so I can show you. Hold on. Start. Lose 1 secrecy if the Necromancer is in your space. So that means he's going to go down to a 5. And then resolve any instructions from the power cards there. There aren't any yet. He's not that tough. And then we're going to draw the event card for him. Blink, roll 1 die, and pick one. So this is how some of the wording in this is always so funny. You don't get to pick anything. You have to roll a die and you get whatever the result is. So always, some of the wording on these is always so funny. But anyway, there's some kind of power erupts. He's going to blink and move somewhere else. He moves to the 5, which is the swamp. That's okay. I'm not gonna complain about that because now he doesn't have to move to attack that blight. So he pops over there. It doesn't say that it didn't. I don't think that counts as a move. It says move. So that means he gains his secrecy back, but he's already at the maximum he can gain from moving. Anyway, so that is his. So him and the bard are in the forest trying to do their thing, and poof, the monk just disappears on him and goes to the swamp. Which is good because we're still on an odd number deal. So he's going to use his tactic, fight with 3 dice or 1 die, if even. Well, it's odd right now, so he's going to get to fight that blight with 3 dice. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to try and take out this enigma. See if he can do it. 3, 4, 5. Man, just made it. So he did succeed. This blight is gone. That does cost him a secrecy, though, so he's now down to 4 secrecy, and the enigma is history. Unfortunately, that ends his turn. So now all we have left is the bard. Well, the bard is... his friend, his buddy, just poofed out of existence. Hopefully he's still alive, right? But the bard is sitting in there in the forest with the necromancer. So first thing that happens is he loses secrecy. He's down to 2. That's pretty bad. I think what we're going to do with him is we're going to run away. Because otherwise the necromancer is just going to stay there and plop things down. Which isn't the worst thing that could happen having 2 blights in the forest, but I think what we're going to do is first draw his event card. Okay, his event. Let's see. It is Unfriendly Eyes. Count the current blights in your location. 1. If it's 1, spend 1 secrecy or lose. Okay, well this is making up our mind for us. He's down to 1 secrecy. He can almost be attacked by the necromancer. So we have to move. And I think what we're going to do with him is he's fine on health. But I don't want the necromancer chasing the scout either, or moving into the area with the scout. So he is going to actually move here into the monastery. Safe place. So next turn he won't have to draw a event, and his secrecy goes back up to 2, and the necromancer doesn't move to the monastery. So while that doesn't do much for his turn, he still gets to take his action, and we're going to do that. So what can you do when you're in the monastery? Let's take a look. There's one thing, and it's not a bad thing, though he's not really injured. He can still gain grace, I think, right? So actions. He is a prey. He's going to pray in the monastery, roll 2 dice, gain 1 for each 3+, and refresh your powers. Now I do think though he can also take the action of no, I'm not worried about that. I was going to say he's already got his rousing melody is already active. He could deactivate, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do this. We're going to roll 2 dice, and for every 3+ he gets, he's going to gain a grace. Well, he got 1, so that's going to put him up to a 5 grace. I do believe that can take you over your minimum. I'm not sure. Up to default. Dang, he can't do that either. Really, all that's going to do is get him away from the necromancer. So I take that back. He could not do that. He's already at default. He was not injured. Should I have moved him to the village? I don't know. We've got that demagogue. I don't have a spark, so we got to get sparks. What can we do to get a spark? Because he can still take his action there. I got to look at the actions. Let's see. He can hide, refresh all powers. He can meditate. So that's what we're going to do with the bard this turn. He's going to meditate, and that is going to give him a spark. Okay. The next turn, the bard can go to the village and deal with the demagoguery there. Well, actually, that's going to go. It's going to trigger. Actually, that's not a terrible thing. It just puts 2 new quests there. So anyway, a spark's helpful. We get to use a spark to do things. Now, just so you can see, when you... Let's see if it actually tells you. It may not need to because sparks are so common. But sparks just allow you to add or manipulate your dice. So you'll see that in action when we use it. But I think getting a spark is a good thing. So I think we'll do that. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing something that we could do that would be helpful. I just don't know the answer to that, guys. I think that we can't. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to the necromancer's turn, I guess. course, that means that his turn is over, and then we're going to just slide on over here. The darkness track is going to go up. Then we're going to deal with quests. Well, this gets 2 quest markers and only had the ability to take 2, so demagoguery is gone, and that means we put out 2 quests. Does it say on that location? I just need to remember. 2 new quests here, so we're going to put 2 new quests on the village. That could be bad, but it could be good too, because they always have rewards with them. So let's do this. We got 1 quest here. What is it? We got Black Smoke. We only need 1 success. It says elude versus a 5. Each success gives you 1. Each failure loses a secrecy. 5 time on that, so we get time. Oh my gosh, if we get this, we get an artifact. We're doing that. Expired. We're going to get an Enigma Blight. It says the dark fumes are creeping out of the hills. Sneak in and find their source before this mysterious project is complete. Okay, so that is just outside the hills of the village. That is happening. And then the next one is going to be this one. Education. Wow, we need 5 successes. We only got 4 turns to do it on. Action. 2. You get 2 successes, then spend any amount of grace or sparks to gain additional successes. If we complete it, we get an epiphany. If we expire, we get a corruption blight. It says, tempers are frayed and fierce quarrels threaten to drag people into chaos. Separate the truth from the lies and set things to right. Well, okay, we got to deal with both of those now. This one we definitely want to. Well, they both put a blight out there. That's not good, and the skeletons are there, so it's a little tough. Okay, and then I think that's all we have to deal with. We don't have any darkness cards or anything yet to deal with yet, so we're just going to. We added the quest tokens. We put them out. Done. Movement. Roll 1 die to compare. Okay, so we're going to roll the die for the Necromancer. Let's see what he gets. Hopefully something really not a 1. Okay, he's moving to the village. This is getting tough for the village, isn't it? So we're going to look at that. Nobody's at a 1. I mean, the Bard was at a 2, but he's at the monastery, so he's okay. We're going to draw a map card and see what we get. So he's in the village. He's dropping some spies in the village. He's bringing some spies to check things out, make it harder for us there. Here are spies. See, we need a 5 to defeat them, and here's what they do. We lose a secrecy each turn we're there, so that's pretty rough, man. We got it. So the Bard going. I was going to put the Bard in there and start getting some stuff, but we got to take this out. Lose a secrecy if we try to defeat it and fail. And we're on an even darkness track right now, so the monk is not very helpful in the battle. I think the best person we have for the battle, I don't know who that is right now, probably the Exorcist. With blights, he's going to have to move in there. He's okay. He's in good form. He's still got 2 grace left. And the scout is actually kind of hurting, but we'll figure that out. I think we got plenty of things to do there. Anyway, that's going to end the Necromancer's turn. We're going to wrap around and take another turn for the players. Yeah, that is good. Okay, let's get to it. Next up, I think now we got to go back to the players' turns. I'm going to refresh all their tokens, and then we'll get back around. So this is not good because we're already 4 up on the darkness track. Darkness track goes to 30, and we have 0 clues to find the relics. So I think we're going to activate the scout first. She's not in good shape, but she is in a place where she can search. We got rid of one of the enigmas, so it is 1+1 to her search. But we're gonna also. I don't know. I think that's the best thing we can do. She's got. This is a place where you can get clues and mysteries. We got to stick to that and try and get some stuff going here. So, but anyway, regardless, she's not in a safe place. We have to draw her event card. Let's see what we get. Dead servant compared to our secrecy. Compared to secrecy, her secrecy is, I think it's a 6, right? Yeah. So 5+. It's gonna be a scout. All she can do is elude. If she fails, she loses a secrecy. Okay, so she does have an ability. She eludes with 1 die and adds 1 to your highest die result. Exhaust after rolling to add 2 to your highest die result. This is speed. So she's going to use her speed to roll 1 die and add 1 to it. If she eludes him with a 5, if she doesn't, she can exhaust after rolling to add 2 to the highest die. So she's got a good chance of succeeding. She rolled a 4, so that actually succeeds on its own because we needed a 5. Okay. And this gives her add 1 to the highest die result on an elude. Okay. Then it says, the rotten smell informs you that this one, like most of the Necromancer's minions, has been dead for some time. All right, that was good. Nothing really bad happened there. Then I think we're going to search. We need... So here's where I think we can use this. When you make a die roll, the highest possible result has no consequences other than avoiding a failure. Plus 2 die on where, other than avoiding a failure. Which is this case. We fail, we don't get to do our search. See, I don't know, I keep thinking that would be something like this, right? See, where if we... There are consequences, right? If we fail, we lose a grace. That's what I'm talking about. So it says... Again, I don't know why I'm having a problem with this card. When you make a die roll where the highest possible result has no consequence other than avoiding failure, plus 2 the die roll. I believe that's this case. So we need a 5, unfortunately, and we got a 4. So of course we failed. Yeah, that's not good. Sadly, that marks the end of the scout's turn, so she's just hanging out there searching for stuff poorly. All right. Well, let's go next with the Bard. The Bard doesn't have to draw an event card. Does he have anything to help him move? He does fight or elude with trickery pretty well, but that's not the best card in the world. He doesn't have any... He needs to get some more abilities. Exhaust to allow all heroes at your location to gain a grace. That's pretty good. We don't need to do that. I do think he is going to move to the mountains right now. That will gain him a secrecy. Because I don't mind, if I draw the Necromancer up there, that's not such a bad thing, and it draws him away from all the other characters. So, but that puts his secrecy up to 3 now. So there's a 50-50 chance the Necromancer is going to find him and move there. We'll see, or at least know he's there. Didn't actually find him. The only time the Necromancer can find a player is if there is 0 secrecy. But he gets word from his minions and that the Bard is floating around the mountains. That's what happens, and he moves up there to find him and make things more difficult. Okay, that unfortunately is the... Well, so that was his entire turn. So we get there. Boom. Okay. Now let's go to... unfortunately... yeah, let's do the Exorcist next. He's in the swamps. And we got to get him to the village. But first we have to draw his event card. So let's see what he gets. A Ruined Golem. Well, we got these 2 things. If we fail, we lose a grace. You may not use powers or other than tactics during this event. The hum of runeworks mixes with the grind of stone as it catches sight of you and starts to build up speed. So it's rushing at us. I don't have... We get to... it says at the start of our turn. So this start of our turn, we get to roll for our boons. So rolling for the courageous boon, I need to roll a 5. Nope. I rolled a 2. I just get to roll 2 dice. So one of them's a 2. So we get to activate one thing, and the other one's a 1. That doesn't help, but all we needed to activate, really, I think, was our Courageous Boon. We'll do that, so we get bonuses on these rolls if we need them. And then I also can take no consequences from an action. So it says I can deactivate after... That's Protective Boon. I can deactivate after making a die roll to ignore the consequence. So right now we're just going to make a die roll. We don't have any ability to fight this thing any better than rolling a die, so... eluding. Oh wait, well that's only against blights, so he just gets to roll a die. He rolled a 5 anyway, so we are okay. We didn't have to do anything else to avoid the golem. We just got away from it. The golem went away, and now we get to take our actual turn. So I think for him, the smart move here is we got to get into... He's got a high secrecy. It's 5. It'll go up to 5 when he moves into the village. So I think what we're going to do with him is we're going to move him into the village. His secrecy will go up to 5. And then we're going to start working on one of these quests. So the education says put 2. If we take the action, we automatically put 2. I can use Grace and or Sparks, which we don't have any of, to add to that. Or I can do Elude versus 5. I don't have any special ability to do that. The monk does, though. So I think what we'll do is we're going to take the action against education. Now, each turn we're going to lose a secrecy here and the Necromancer's here, so he's going to lose 2 secrecy. So do I actually maybe use him to attack the blight? Actually moved. We can't do anything else. That's all we do. So we move there. Talking about next turn what we do. We're going to have to now avoid the skeletons. We got a 4/4. Let's do that and see if we can avoid him. He doesn't have any special abilities, remember. A 6, so he easily avoided the skeletons, and then He's going to lose a secrecy, so he's back down to 3. Right? No, sorry. He's back down to 4, so not too terribly bad because of the spies. Unfortunately, that's his turn. So he snuck into the village, but they're looking for him. They're looking for him real hard. The spies are searched him out, maybe spotted him, and made it a little tougher for him. He's got to get in there and do these things. But both those are actions, so he can't do anything with them this turn. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the monk. Now the monk, I do need to move him over there. He doesn't have anything to move yet. Not good. Anyway, okay, sorry, someone's running water. Sorry, apologies for the noise. You know, this is a professional studio, so people run water in the next room and it gets loud. Joking. Okay, I think what we're going to do with the monk is first draw his event card. Let's see what he gets. Black Banner. Count the blights 0. There's 0, so he has to deal with an archer. It says the emblem bores through your eyes and sinks into the pit of your stomach. Okay, so we have to avoid an archer or attack it. I think this turn he's better off eluding with 2 dice against this archer. Let's put that right here. We'll roll the 2 dice and see if the monk can elude the archer. He rolled a 4, which is a success. He successfully eluded the archer that was in there. Now he's got to do something. I think he could stay there and search. I'm not thrilled with that notion. He could go to the castle. I'm not thrilled with that. I mean, we need the Necromancer to move, basically, because otherwise we're going to be losing 2 secrecy when we stay there. The Exorcist is at risk there, for sure. So I think what we'll do with him, he will gain a secrecy for doing this. I think we're going to move up to the castle for right now, because then he can gain some more skills. And we'll put his secrecy up to 5. And that's going to end his turn. And that's going to end this episode. Oh, wait, no, I'm saying. Not going to end this episode. We got to do the Necromancer's turn, right? Let's go do that. Okay, just to point out, there is a blight there. It's decay, but it doesn't have any effect at the end of the turn, so he didn't have to do anything to go there. Now let's do what we got to do with the darkness. Darkness track goes up to 5. This is bad. When he gets to 10, he's going to get a power. So we got to be careful of that. The Necromancer builds up powers. He's coming after us. So that happens, and then we simply put a marker on each of these. So we've got to get these done. Otherwise, there's going to be 4 blights there, and then we'll start hitting the monastery. We've got to protect that. And then hopefully, he sees either the bard or the monk or somebody and moves out of that space. So now we're going to roll for the Necromancer's movement. He rolled a 4. Who did he see? Well, he saw the Exorcist. He saw... Now, if it's a choice, we get to choose. Actually, he saw both the Exorcist... No, he didn't see the Exorcist. I'm looking at their grace. Sorry, the Exorcist is at a 4. He has to do better. So he sees the bard, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So he moves up there, gets out of the village. That's fantastic. And then he's going to drop a blight there, because the bard only has a 3 secrecy. Everybody else is a 4 or better. So, okay. He moved to the mountains. This is actually kind of what I was hoping. This is one of the things you can do in the game that's really important to manipulate the Necromancer, is take somebody like that and say, come on, Necromancer, you can come up here. If he takes a little heat for it, it's all okay. But we're going to put a corruption down in the mountains there. Okay, here's a corruption. It says exhaust all powers if we try and defeat it and lose. Otherwise, we get no bonuses. So anything that says bonus. Now, luckily for the bard, nothing he has says bonus on it. But like, for example, the Exorcist, where his bonus is to roll to see if he automatically activates any of his boons, he would not get to do that in this space any longer. And that is going to be here, just to show you the cool artwork on the other side. Pretty neat. That is going to be here with the bard. One of the things I love about this board that came in the 2nd edition is I remember the first one, the map was first off paper, and it was really small in the first edition of this, and you couldn't put this stuff out. It all stacked up. Here, there's plenty of room to put things on each of the spaces. And what's also interesting is when you first look at this, you go, man, there's only a couple places to go, but man, you sure got a lot of variety in what happens. Makes it neat. All right, anyway, that is going to mark the end of this episode. We have got to get our act together and start getting some clues out, or we're not going to be able to get a relic to defeat the Necromancer. And we're not running out of time yet, but once we pass 10, it gets really rough. So we want to make sure we're trying to do that now. And so I drew the Necromancer away from the players. That's helpful. We'll be able to tackle some things. I got to get the scout some health, but we're going to use her explore action to move and refresh all our powers next turn, so that'll be okay. She is super stealthy and sneaky, so she's probably heading to the village to help out there. we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode, and I hope you're enjoying this playthrough of Darkest Night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. I do have some other cool games coming pretty soon, so we'll see how that plays out. Just tell me what you're thinking, but I was thinking of, I have Batman, the animated series, Gotham Under Siege. I also have, which is the one I really want to do, is Yggdrasil Chronicles, but I don't know how I'm going to film that with the big giant tree yet. And then, of course, what I've been holding on to was Tainted Grail. I think you guys will probably want that one, but we'll see. Guys, thanks. Talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the next episode.